Hi, I'm Maureen Tara Nelson of MTN Matchmaking, today with a very handsome and intelligent Dr. David Doherty, MD.
and a lot,
Dot blah
and a
blah
lot,
blah blah blah.
and a lot of other letters. Yes.
Okay, so let's start off with tell me about the letters.
Um, uh, uh, I hate talking about myself, so
I know,
uh, uh,
but
maybe.
everyone wants to know.
So it stands. It's actually one O too many, but it actually stands for the Fellow in the American College of
Hmm,
Oncological Internal Medicine.
wow, that sounds complicado. You know that's my favorite word, right?
Yeah.
Complicado,
Mhm.
or at least one of them. Okay, so I just want to see again. We know it's on just friends, so only my friends on Facebook can watch it now, and later we'll make it on live. So,
Mhm.
okay, so we do have a lot of questions, and after this, I'll be going on my Zoom call with Tony Robbins. Just me and Tony Robbins.
Tell
He's
them I said hi.
okay. He's going to teach me a few things about AI. Yeah. But
Yeah. What are your takes on AI?
well, I could see the benefits to if I could master it.
Hmm.
It will give me a lot more freedom, and I won't have to work so much because an AI twin could do the same things that I do.
Hmm.
And it's my information that I'm just feeding to it once. And just like Chat GBT, that you say five things, and in 2 seconds it gives you a whole page of things, which it's frighteningly amazing how it can do this. So I think there's a lot of good for small business owners like myself. Um, I tried to figure it out myself, and I did a twin of me, which you saw.
Hmm.
And at first glance, I thought, oh, she looks a little bit like me. But then when I heard her talking, she was way too slow and she didn't smile when she spoke. So clearly it was not good. So when I saw that, and even had my brother making fun of it by reenacting it, then I realized I need Tony Robbins to teach me how to do this. So
Hmm.
I'll be doing that after. But for now, we're going to be answering your dating questions. And there are a lot because there were a lot from last week that I didn't see.
Hmm.
So this is almost 2 weeks worth, but we'll get to as many as we can. Okay, so Um, we know from watching your Facebook Live, so I guess it's a couple, which, people that are married watch this too, which is interesting. You don't have to be single.
Yeah, I think people in general, when they start sentences, start it with we, like there's a collective group of people, because they're probably talking about stuff
Hmm.
between people. So it tends to be a collection of people.
Okay. We've been watching your Facebook Lives for the past 10 years
Well,
that you put aside your own matchmaking in order to raise your kids and build your business. And heard you say that your son didn't even remember asking you not to get remarried again. Is that true? And do you regret that? Okay, so the answer is just quick and easy. Yes, it was true. And no, I don't regret that because I believe that things happen for a reason. And I was meant to focus on my kids and my business for all that time. And I'm really, really happy that I did do that.
Makes sense.
Okay. Let's see. I always hear you're saying that you love your job and you work around the clock. That's the one thing about what's the one thing about matchmaking that you don't like? Because none of us could possibly love everything about it. Well, 99% of what I do, I love. The 1%, Dave knows all about it because he gets the venting of it. You get me off the ledge. But I guess it's when people say, don't take my advice, when I'm giving advice to help them be successful.
Mhm.
And that's it. I want them all to be successful. But typically, around one person a month will give me a hard time, make it harder on me to make them successful. And then it's never that I know I'm not successful because I didn't take your advice. It's always, you're horrible, you suck, blah, blah, blah. So that is the hard part for me. But I have to always put that in perspective that it's so little compared to the grand scheme of things of having thousands of success stories. And, 99% of my clients are all amazing. So anything you want to add to that?
I think it's pretty standard that the loudest voices usually come from the most disenfranchised people. So, the people that you help,
Yeah.
will certainly thank you, and I guess maybe they should be putting stuff on the internet.
But they don't. You're
But
right.
they don't. And
They
the
say it
people, right,
privately.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty standard thing when you look at any kind of advertising. Um, um, People would say that, more than 85% of what comes across is negative, because the people who are satisfied with the products that they use or they eat or they go or the movies they see or the people they come in contact with, and they're having a good reaction to that they don't run to the internet and do it. And it's a shame, because it helped sort of offset the opposites.
Yeah. A lot of our clients will send us letters after they get married with their pictures and with a thank you card that we can post in the office. So this way, when new clients are coming in, they can see it. But I can ask someone, could you put in a good review for me? Because first of all, there's one, main review site, which I'm not going to mention, but they will never put on positive. They only want the negative. Whereas Google is great. Google, whatever you put on, whether it's good or bad, it'll be there. But
Yeah,
this one site,
I
it's
think in
just,
this day and age, it's fair to ask someone to put an honest review on. You're not asking only the good people to put it on. In medicine, it's a little bit different. I mean, usually the people who are satisfied, they don't write reviews on the internet, at least not to my knowledge. But obviously the people who are not satisfied do mostly complain to their insurance companies. So.
It really, the internet is really just filled with the Karens, as you learned last week what the Karens are. The ladies who only want to complain. And that's usually what you find on these sites. But I think even with myself on things that I do, I need to put more positive things about my experiences too.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm going to do
Well,
that.
I mean, Forrest Gump said it right. You know, I mean, life's like a bowl of cherries. Sometimes you get some nuts. So,
Yep. And sometimes I have to stop working with a client if they become nutty or unmatchable. Because how could I, in good faith, send that person out to one of my great quality guys, for example? I can't.
mhm.
So it's a shame, though. Okay, next question. Um, is your program only for singles that want to get married? Being the younger singles who have never been married before? Um, or do some just want a committed relationship? So, yes, it definitely changes that when people are young and coming here to get married for the first time, they're all looking for marriage.
Mhm.
And then I noticed this 20 years ago when I opened up MTN Matchmaking that when people have already been married and they're divorced, they just want to be happy and they just want to find someone that will make them happy for the, hopefully the rest of their life. And if that happens, that's great.
Mhm.
Very few people 50 and above the second time around want to actually get married again. And so that's how it is. But what would you say to add?
I don't really have much experience with what you're talking about, but certainly it seems logical. I mean,
Hmm.
I know um, a lot of people, you know, even second times around, just become, you know, partners, but not get married, kind of thing. So,
Hmm. And the second time divorce rate is actually higher.
really,
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yep. But of course, there's other alternatives too. Having the committed relationship, and um, most of my clients with the committed relationship are okay with living together, if not all the time, but most of the time, because a lot of times after, especially people your age, um,
Easy there.
um, they'll realize that, and my age too. So that was a joke, but that we were not meant to be alone as human beings. We all need love, and if you're lucky enough to find someone that you're compatible with and that who you have chemistry with, that's great. Don't let that person go. So,
Mhm.
okay. Let's see what's next. Okay. It's probably the same person. What's your advice on moving in with someone but not to get married? Okay. So, what I've said to any age, even if it's uh, the millennials that they say, okay, I want to get married one day, but we first want to live together. What I've always said is just get the ring first, because if you don't, you might not ever get the ring. So then on the flip side of that is those who don't want to get married again and you both agree upon that, but say you're going to live together, I think it's a good thing to do that as well, so that at least there's some sort of commitment there. You know, people 50 and above, like I said, they don't need a piece of paper to say, I'm married. They don't need that.
Yeah.
But I think it is very helpful for the women who, especially if, you know, wherever they go, because most guys do not have trouble going up to women. Whereas I don't know many ladies that do. I personally would never go up to a guy, ever, ever. But so, it is kind of, it's a, it's a good thing in my eyes and what I've been recommending for so many years. You want to add anything or?
There's a whole lot there. Even if you cohabitate in certain states, it's considered to be a common law marriage after a certain period of time. You commingle your funds and you're living together, you're paying the bills together back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
The bills are in the same name. I mean, there's enough legal jargon out there to do that. So whether they say they're married or not, under the eyes of the law, they probably are going to be viewed as being married. One, two, and as far as, they say they're married or not, under the eyes of the law, I'm hearing myself.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We are getting people
I,
watching and viewers, but we can't see it on this.
yeah, sorry about that. The other thing I would say, it's interesting to me being 65 years old. A lot of my friends who are in other relationships.
65?
Yeah, 65.
The way you were lifting today, I would say that you're 50.
Yeah, 50's been a long way in the back.
No, because the way you were lifting weights.
Yes, I know. I want to look good later on in life. But getting back to that, I think sometimes the second time around, you're way smarter,
Mm-hmm.
and you're more set in your ways and what you want, necessarily what you think you should be wanting. And I don't know. I mean, I've had lots of friends who have gotten not even married, but cohabitate together.
Mm-hmm.
A very close friend of mine is a retired police captain. He and his wife have cohabitated for 45 years. So, and they're not married, but I mean, I guess by the law they will be legally considered married. But it's just interesting.
That is interesting. Why not? Does he not want to buy her an engagement ring?
No, she has
ring?
one. She has one. She got a big in the whole 9 yards. He's an interesting fella.
Do they not want to, in the eyes of God, I guess it's not important for them to get married in a church, I guess, right?
No, I don't. They have one of the best relationships I've seen in a very long period of time.
And is it so if someone annoys someone, they could be like, "See ya, bye," and then that's the end of it?
No, I don't. They're very committed to each other. They're very committed to sitting down and working it out. They spend time with each other. They spend time away. I mean, it's just one of those relationships where you look at it and you envy it.
And like, who is that? Kurt Russell and
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn.
Yeah. They've never been married.
Yeah.
they have kids and stars and grandchildren. I mean, it says something to be with somebody and not have to have the safety net of being married. I don't know if I would recommend that. You know, generally out there are certain people who can do that, and certain people who definitely do not need to do that. But it's just interesting to me.
Yeah. Okay, so my friend Maureen has written in, which I could only see on this, only about 10 states have common law. Thank you, Mo.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay, let's see. Okay. How do you know you're with the right one out there? And what are the stages of the relationship? Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I guess what they're asking is there are different stages that relationships need to go through. And it's not, dating is hard. It's a lot harder than people realize. Even at a matchmaking service, it's hard. But the different stages of that relationship begin first with seeing the person going out to dinner. So, say that's your first date. Now you see how that person is. Just say you get a crappy waiter. If I don't know too many people that feel comfortable with their date being an asshole to a waiter or a waitress. I mean, it's horrible and it's uncomfortable. But that's the very beginning stages to see how someone reacts like that.
Mhm.
Then the next stage is seeing how that person lives. Um, say the guy comes to the girl's place, and it's important to look around and to see, because you could tell a lot about a person's personality by the way they live. And then, of course, you do the opposite. The woman goes to the guy's place, and you know, it gives a good inside view into if you're compatible, or just say you're completely not compatible. That might show that, but hopefully you really wouldn't base compatibility on something that minuscule. Okay.
Mhm.
And especially if it's something that's temporary, that like a person's just renting. You can't go by that.
Yeah.
Then I would say to typically meet your friends, because that's a big step. When your friends are meeting your significant other for the first time, it's nerve wracking for everyone because naturally you want your friends to like him or her, and you want the green light from your friends. And if you're compatible, you probably will. Um, then I would say next is to go away with that person. And, the first time you go away, you shouldn't do more than 4 days, 3 nights. I would say that would be perfect. And say if that person hogs the bed the whole entire night and you can't sleep at all because, or maybe the person snores like crazy the whole night. These are things that you wouldn't have maybe found out before you actually went away with someone. But it's also good because you're going to be viewing your significant other in a different atmosphere that they're not usually in. So that's a great, great next step. Then, depending upon the couple and how serious it might be down the line, the last part, and it should always be the last part, is introducing the person to your family. And only do that ever if you think, okay, things are going to work out with him or her. I want to be with him or her. Only at that point do you do that. So many times when I've seen women do it all the time when they're newly divorced, they're introducing these guys to their kids. No, never. Well, I mean, not never, but any psychiatrist or psychologist will always say, wait at least 6 months. And I kind of think on the outside world, yes, do the 6 months, but also make sure that you think that that person is going to be the one. So if you're going out for fun, don't introduce that person to your kids. It's too confusing for your kids, regardless of what age they are. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
Yeah. But now here at MTN Matchmaking, remember we all need compatibility and chemistry. So you're already compatible. Usually after the 3 dates that we make, you'll know if you have chemistry or the beginnings of chemistry. And so if that's the case, you don't really have to wait 6 months. If you are on hold with one another and you really think that that person is the one, yes, then you can introduce your guy to your kids, but you would check with your dating coach first, of course. Any feedback?
No, those are good solid things. I mean, you do your best, to find someone, to give yourself to them, they give themselves to you. And I mean, luckily, I think the numbers bear out that a lot of times, more so than not, they're right. It's just the unfortunate ones that aren't. And then that's another whole set of baggage going back out into the dating world and trying to find someone that they match with, that they're.
It's frightening out there.
Yeah,
frightening.
That's why you need Maureen.
You heard him. Okay. Did I cut you off though? Did you have more?
No, not at all.
Okay. Okay. So next one is. Oh, this is funny. How hard is it really to find the right person on your own? So, I used to always say this saying when I first got into matchmaking, and my mentor taught me this. He said, finding the right person who you'll be compatible to and have chemistry with is like finding a needle in a haystack. And that has nothing to do with how pretty you are, how handsome you are, how successful you are. It's with everyone because of the importance of compatibility, and you're needing to find out for sure if you're going to be compatible. What do you think, though, as far as what we're talking about?
I think you're right. I mean, I think everybody's different.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's circumstances are different.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's history contributes to matching with someone or what they want. Everybody, the old adage, you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you get a prince. And princes come in all sizes and shapes, as are princesses.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, I mean, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know of too many people in my life that have ever met, you know, the girl or guy they were going to marry on the first date in high school. And there are those people, certainly. Interestingly enough, I'm not one of them. But you
Nor
know,
am I.
it's I think you have to believe what you want and strive to find out if the person that you're with, fits into your life and you fit into his life or her life.
Mm-hmm.
And you should let it play out from there.
Yeah, good.
But the one thing I can obviously assure everybody, if you don't get in the game, you can never get a hit.
Wow, that is great. Okay, yeah. So, what I usually recommend to people right before they start my program, because it's so hard to find the right person, and again, even here with my team and I doing all the work, it's still not like you're paying us money, you're guaranteed to be successful. It still is hard.
Yeah.
So I recommend that you just write a list of what your inner core values are and take note of that list as you get to know the person more and more. Do they have the same inner core values? If they do, great. Um, Are they compatible? Again, typically on our own, that takes 6 months to find out, but that should be in your list if you're compatible. Um, you should always have 5 must-haves. Everyone's heard me say this probably thousands of times. Not 25, not, 15, but 5. 5 is realistic. And when things go wrong, which they will, because none of us are perfect, and even though we've chosen 5 must haves, there will be things that come up that a person will think, I wish blah, 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 blah. But you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You chose your 5 must haves. You have to stick with that. And if someone's not fitting into those 5, that's where communication comes in. And it is so extremely important to have good communication. And most people don't, but
Let me ask you a question.
yes.
In regards to the 5,
Mm-hmm.
how often do you coach people on what 5 things? Do you discuss with the people what 5 things? Because generally, I think people tend to over or undervalue themselves
Mm-hmm.
on both sides, and neither is good.
Right.
I'm just curious,
Yes. So that's a great question because people usually always give different 5 must haves, but they always say, I bet everyone says the same thing.
Mhm.
No, that's not the case. However, I don't usually coach them because I don't know their personality test to a T yet until I do a personality test on them after I take them on, which I don't need them for. But there was a time that I had to coach people, and that was during the pandemic. So, and I kind of did it in a joking way because we were having daily Facebook Lives where we just wanted to spread love throughout the whole country. We didn't care about making money. We just made everything 50% off so people would be able to afford it. but I remember everyone would give their 5 must-haves. And not one of them said to be blank and handy. Whereas many of these single ladies, you can't swing a hammer. And during the pandemic, you needed things done. Whereas, yeah, normally you would call someone to fix that or do something to your can't pronounce floors. Um, but during the pandemic, I said, having someone handy during this time is like the most important thing. And that should be your number one. But again, after the pandemic, I stopped doing that.
Interesting.
Yes.
I'm one of 5. My older brother and my younger brother are laborers. Myself and my younger brother Doug are doctors, and my sister works in a medical facility. It's just kind of interesting out of the 5 people how it all worked out, but
Yeah, as everyone knows, I'm the youngest out of 6, which I don't like the rap that the youngest gets of being spoiled, because I wasn't spoiled. But if you asked some of my family members, they would say I was spoiled. But I just remember my mother saying to me, "You'll have everything you want. I'm sorry, you'll have everything you need, most of what you want, until you get spoiled.
Mhm.
If you take advantage of that, it's over and it doesn't come back. It's done." So I did that, of course, with my own kids, and they would always come back at me. What was that? One of grandma's isms that you're using on us? Yep. Oh, Maureen and a couple people have been writing in. Okay. So Mo, she lives with her boyfriend. Um, so because we were talking about that, she says, I call my boyfriend my roommate, LOL.
But I will say this, the cute stuff like that only comes because they're in a good, relaxed relationship, and you can make fun of each other without any
Yes.
retribution to that. So I like to see playfulness, not cruelty.
Yes, right. Can I ask you what your 5 best qualities are?
No.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Susie Q wants to know, what are Dave's 5 must-haves?
My 5 must-haves. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
It's not me. It's Susie Q.
Susie Q. Yeah.
She took the time this week.
I'm sorry. Do I have my Ellis Island shirt on today? Do I look like I just fell off the banana boat?
No, but it is a nice top.
What are my 5 musts? She's got to be kind.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to write these down, actually. So.
She has to be kind.
Mm-hmm.
She has to think beyond herself.
So a giver.
No, well, not necessarily a giver, but certainly, yeah, it could be giving.
Giving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. 2.
That's 2. she has to be not afraid to try different things.
Mm. You don't mean sexually, do you?
No. Travel, like I kite surf.
Wow.
I've been to. I scuba dive. I parachuted. Don't repeat that to anybody. I've done some things just to try them out, but
Wow.
and it doesn't necessarily mean that she would have to do that. I was just saying that
Oh, good. So
to
she
get
could
out,
come with you,
yeah, but
watch you.
get out of your comfort zone.
Yes. Yes.
Get out of your comfort zone. I've always been somebody who has lived sort of outside of my comfort zone. I do things that I want to do and I think I should do, which usually annoys my family. Let's see, is that 3 or 4?
1, 2, 3.
Okay. Um,
Mhm.
I think she has to be fun.
Oh, yes. Yes, definitely.
You know, it's I think it's draining on a relationship if you want to be fun and she just wants to be negative or he wants to be negative.
Oh, no tolerance for that.
Yeah.
Have you noticed how funny I am, by the way?
Yes, I noticed how funny you are. You were funny on the basketball court at Azalea Road.
But we won't say what age.
Yeah, that was just a little bit below where I would go.
My lifeguard crush.
What else? Is that 4 or 5?
4. One more.
What else do I like in somebody? I would say that they have to be able to have a good conversation.
Okay, good. Is it okay? Is it okay if the conversation is just about matchmaking and kids?
For part of the time, sure. For part of the time, sure.
Because some of us ladies, we delegate those other things to get from other people to save us time. For example, morning news brief from Maureen.
Yeah, the same for me. I mean, I had a conversation with a former colleague of mine from Harvard this morning, and it's just nice to touch base with people. That's all.
Is he married? We should sign him up.
He is very much married.
Oh.
He married one of my classmates.
Oh, wow. Did you?
No, I didn't introduce him. I didn't introduce him. No, he wasn't here. He's in Boston. By the yard.
Okay. Okay. Oh, how many breakups are too many breakups? And this is because the person says, I always am preaching, it never pays to go back. Okay, so you go first with that one.
I think everybody's an individual. Every breakup is different. I mean, if you had a fight about the fact that your husband or your wife had a few drinks at the bar and came home late, that's not something that's
or was on a diet pill and drank and left a message.
That's worth throwing a relationship away on. And I've had friends of mine, physicians, non-physicians, who have had, their relationships split, one cheated, the other cheated, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And some found their way back and some didn't. I really do believe, and this is going to sound a little preachy, but I do believe that God has a plan for all of us. we're not privy to that plan, and the way it rolls out, we can help it or we can hurt it, but it's just
Yep.
just the way it rolls out.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, I agree. So for me, what I usually say, it doesn't pay to go back. So if you break up because of something insignificant, then you talk it out, you communicate, and sure, you could try another time. But if it comes to cheating, most likely the person or both were not happy. So unless the person who cheated, or actually both of them, because it takes two to get divorced.
Mhm.
Okay. Except in my case, I was 100% right. But anyway, I'm kidding. I'm kidding to my kids. Um, so, um, oh, okay. So, I think that next page, sorry. Um, Here, though, you don't just give up. Whereas on the outside world, you see three red flags. You know, give up, don't look back. That person's not changing unless he or she is going through years of therapy and wants to change. Whereas another commercial for MTN matchmaking can't help it, but when it comes to us here, it, it's still hard with dating, don't get me wrong, but it's so much easier because you will have a dating coach. Sometimes I say that, and guys are like, oh, I don't need dating coaching. So if you're a future client, please don't say that to me, because what that means is you are you are going to do that. Okay, so you are going to need dating coaching because everyone does. If you have the ability to know what's in that other person's head, wouldn't you want to know that?
Yes.
Yeah. So here, I would say again, if it's cheating though, but again, it would never happen here really because the cheaters aren't paying money to be in my program. So, we're pretty safe where that's concerned. And then, let's see, we were talking about um, the breakups and how it never pays to go back out. Um, Again, everything just always boils down to compatibility and chemistry, but also in having communication.
Mhm.
It's, I used to be, and I might still be, but I used to be the worst person with communicating because I avoided stressful situations. That's why I stopped watching the news and have to get it filtered through someone I trust who will put it in my language that I'll understand it and I don't have to see the 100 other violent things that have happened in the world that will affect me that day and will affect me with my job. So, um, yeah, so, okay, that's it on that. Next one, we're almost done. What's the hardest part about dating? Um, in the state. And I hate when people send in a question and there's either a grammatical error and I don't know what they meant. What's the hardest part about dating in the state? and age people have gotten selfish. Wait. Okay, I think it's just simply what's the hardest part about dating. Okay, so do you want to go first with that, or do you want me to go first?
Oh, for me, I think it's you have to go in with an open mind. You have to go in with an open heart. You can't carry any baggage from other relationships that you're measuring up against the person that you're beginning to try to see if there's any chemistry mixture. What else? And I mean, be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest. Don't tell them what they want to hear.
Right.
Tell them what you feel and think, and be honest with them.
Yeah, that's great. Great advice.
Occasionally, I hit the ball.
um, So here, the hardest part is to find someone like yourself, but no one's going to be a clone. And that would be bothersome. It would be annoying as blank. But the hardest part is really, do you communicate the same way? Do you fight the same way? I used to be just so non-confrontational. I would just go to bed and cry rather than deal with something. Now, again, that was 30 years ago. So, about that. Let's see.
Well, younger too. I mean, when you're younger, you have the emotionality and the hormones and the whole 9 yards.
Yes.
I think, I mean, I really, it sounds so complicated, about this and that and what you like and don't say this and don't say that. I just think that if you're yourself, you'll find out pretty quick whether you're somebody that they are interested in and you're interested in them or not. And I don't think it's any shame to miss,
Yeah.
But I can tell you that the biggest downside to not trying or missing and giving up is being lonely. No matter how many girlfriends or boyfriends you have to hang out with, it's just not the same as having a partner.
Ditto.
Yes.
Don't you love that saying? Ditto.
Absolutely hate it.
I gotta tell you, no one would have ever known that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of my students, all of my interns, my staff, and my partners would all know that when they sit around and go, ditto, I lose my stuff.
Okay, so could a relationship work out if one out of both people are not financially stable, even close? Okay. This is really more for people that are doing internet sites, because everyone that I take on is either financially stable or very financially stable. And I'm very particular on vetting my new clients so that I'm only bringing in the top 20% of all singles.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Finance is always, anytime you're talking money, it always raises the anxiety levels. By the time I had finished medical school and were doing my residencies, I was already easily, $150,000 in debt. And, it was compounding on the T-bill that at that point in time, thanks to Jimmy Carter, who I love and adore, it was almost 18%. So when I was an intern at Michigan State, I would work 12 hours during the day, and then I would go to a facility that needed doctor's supervision at night. And I would work 12 hours overnight and then go back to the hospital the next morning and work 12 more hours in the hospital and then go home and sleep. And you could barely make ends meet. And the reason why I'm telling this story is it caused an enormous amount of stress. And money always does. When you have a lot of it, you don't care, and everything is great and flowery sometimes.
Right.
Not all the time, but when you don't have enough, there's always that stress level. So I don't have any quick remedy to say, oh, do this and it'll be all right. Because every person has an individual issue with it, and their problem is different than anybody else's. But money is a big deal, and you have to really talk about it and be honest and do things together.
Definitely agree. And so if one person, again, we're talking about internet sites, not here because everyone is both, everyone is financially stable or very. But on the internet sites, I've noticed when I just talk to people, when I'm doing just dating coaching for them, which, by the way, I do have my $1,000 special of offering 4 half-hour sessions on dating coaching. And I do this only November, so someone can hopefully join the program and find love for the holidays. So, but the point that I'm making as far as that, okay, is that if the guy has more money and the girl doesn't, I know my own guys will say, I don't care what she does. I want her to be pretty, soft, and loving. Okay. Now, girls, if they make more money than the other person, whether they meet there or here, it seems to be a deal breaker. And I sometimes I ask questions about people's net worth, but usually I don't have to, because my clients will start off saying, "You're not $25,000, are you?" And I said, "No. Why would you get that idea?" And so there happens to be a fake thing that's going around from an ex-employee of mine that is filled with lies. And one of them is that I charge $25,000 and above. I don't. My 20-year-olds start at $1,000 for 3 months. Now, usually they just want to raise the bar from meeting people online, because only 1% of everyone using those online sites pass my easy screening process. That's frightening. So if you're in your 20s and you would like to find the right person to get married, you can go out with them. If you're attractive, you can go out with a million different guys. But if you're looking for marriage, you're not going to know that until typically it's too late. And I have a beautiful girl. Oh, I think she's actually coming in later today. Which, by the way, as I'm training 2 new people, if anyone knows of someone that is looking for a career in the best industry in the world, the best, please give us a call or email to Maureen at tnmatchmaking.com. Oh, so many people are watching here, but they can't see it, or we can't see it on here. Okay, so anyway, what was I saying? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Um, what was I saying? Let me see the question again. Hold on 1 second. Oh, okay. So, regardless of where you live, if a woman makes, and I'm not talking about a little bit more, I'm talking about the women that do not need a man. They they want a man, which is obviously me. Okay. But there are women that they'll say, that guy's gorgeous, but no, because of what he does for a living. Now, again, that guy could be compatible. Just because he has a job that you consider not good looking enough, you know, you're being unrealistic and you're not giving someone a chance. Whereas the flip side is you go out on one date and you see how he is. I signed up a guy and I didn't say this about him. He used to tease himself all the time that, oh, yeah, I'm not good looking. And so then I would say, well, then you're not good looking. And I do that with anyone that puts themselves down on something. But I I do think that I did get through to him because he is on hold now. And um, I won't say what she does for a living. But so, again, what would you feel like in the outside world? Say, um, not you because you're super duper wealthy, blah, blah, blah. So say you were to be on the internet and the girl is hot, young, but she lives paycheck to paycheck. Okay. I personally don't think they're compatible. That's a big thing that makes them not compatible. Okay. But what are your thoughts on that?
Um, what are my thoughts on that? Give me the scenario again.
Okay. So, do you know what just happened?
You spilled something
Yeah. My soda.
on the keyboard.
No, thank God it's up here
Oh.
on the bottom, which I think we're going to be ending. Yeah, let me just. All right, let me get you the question so you could answer it while I do
Okay.
it.
All right. Quick. Yep.
Okay, so would you date a woman who was, say, not financially stable? You would never find that in my service because everyone is. But on the outside world, what would you say? Because women won't date guys
Yeah,
who are not.
I think it's very. I think it's very tough. Why? Well, if she's not financially stable, and I'll only speak from my vantage point, and she's kind of pursuing me, I would be concerned that she's just pursuing me for money and stability rather than my general wonderful nature.
Yeah, because she would be a gift. She would be a gold digger.
Might be a gold
Right.
digger. Yeah.
Most likely.
I don't know. I put most likely. I mean, I saw 30 people a day, 5 days a week for 39 years, and I can't guess them all right.
Okay, so we did have another question, but I don't know what it is. I spilled my.
All right. I love spending time with your audience and you, but my son just got off the table in his reconstruction of his ACL, so I'm going to the hospital.
Oh my gosh! You should have told me that, silly.
So well, what am I going to do? Stand in the waiting room while he's his wife is a nurse there, so we've been getting blow by blow. So
Okay, that's great. Great having you. Everybody loves when you're the guest. Thank you so much.
it's always a pleasure, and people pay attention to her. She knows what she's doing. She's the best, and I'm leaving.
You're the best too. Bye.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye. I figure out how to get out of here.